Hello and welcome to another episode of this tournament. Today I'll be playing with Werewolf Musketeers against Beauty and the Beast Explorers, seed 13 against seed 20. So the bases are Out in the Woods, Strategic Syrup Reserve, as well as Forbidden City. As always, we start with the high seed, which is Explorer, Beauty and the Beast. We have a very strong starting hand with Bell in it. So we will play Bell on Forbidden City as a kind of engine. We will use her talent to draw a card. And then we play Discover the Library with our action play to draw 2 and discard 1 enchanted objects. Then we draw 2 and pass turn. So let's see the Werewolf Musketeer starting hand. We have at least 1 minion. We'll play Young Musketeer and Out in the Woods. And then play Token of Affection to search for Moon Touched. So we will also create a kind of engine to draw a card every turn. And once we have our Titan in play, we can draw 2 a turn. So with that they end their turn, we go back to Explorers, Beauty and the Beast. And they will start with drawing a card. Then they play Petals of the Rose. And with their minion play, they play Mrs. Potts and Chip. This will enable us to move Young Musketeer to Strategic Syrup Reserve. After we discarded the card with Mrs. Potts and Chip, Petal of the Rose triggers, we will keep both of these cards and draw them at the end of our turn. So first of all, Moon Touch to draw a card. Then we'll play Luke Carew, and then use Strategic Syrup Reserve to move Mrs. Potts and Chip over. This way it's going to be harder for our opponent to move the Young Musketeer to the base. We'll then play Frenzy to be able to play Great Wolf Spirit. And with Great Wolf Spirit in play, we can use Moon Touched again. With that, we end our turn. So first of all, Bell to draw a card. Then Mrs. Potts and Chip as well to discard Discover the Library. Draw 2, discard 1. We'll discard a Glory Hunt. And then draw a card. Then Petals of the Rose also triggers, because we discarded a card. So we'll keep these both at the top, because we want minions. And then as our action play, we'll play It Belongs in a Museum to move Mrs. Potts and Chip to Out in the Woods and Young Musketeer to Strategic Syrup Reserve. Because that's the base we are trying to score, and then we can get rid of their engine minion. For minion play, we'll play a Glory Hunt on Forbidden City. So we'll look at the top 2 bases. And we actually like both of them, because Ice Palace gives protection and Agrabah Bazaar gives discards, so we'll keep both. With our extra action from Forbidden City, we play Be Our Guest, and we can use talent to draw a card. So as you can see, we've created a very strong engine on Forbidden City, which is the perfect base for engine cards. So Werewolf Musketeers are going to move Great Wolf Spirit, and then draw 2 cards with Moon Touched. Of course, this is possible if we use the talent of our Titan to give Young Musketeer the most power. Then with our action play, we play Marking Territory. And the idea is to score the base on our next turn and use Make Way to move our Young Musketeer with Moon Touched away from the base, but still win the base. First of all, Explorer, Beauty and the Beast are going to draw a card with Bell. They will then play Glory Hunt with their minion play and move Young Musketeer over with the base ability. Then with our action play, we'll play this Provincial Town to play Enchanted Objects and discard an Enchanted Objects to place a +1 power counter on the first one. Forbidden City gives us an extra action, so we'll play Fortune and Glory, move Bell and the 3 power Enchanted Objects. Then with Petals of the Rose we could have looked at the top 2 cards. We'll place one of these at the bottom, one at the top. As one of these actions is very nice to have in hand. Then we draw them with Be Our Guest. We can also use Mrs. Potts and Chip to discard Break the Curse for the last power we need to score the base. And then we also draw another card. So the amount of card draw in this combo is crazy. Especially since we have that engine on Forbidden City. So yeah, we're going to score the base. There's nothing Musketeer Werewolves can do. If they give +2 power to Lucaru and use Last Stand on Young Musketeer, they still don't have enough power to win. So yeah, there's nothing they can do. So the base scores. And Explorers, Beauty and the Beast are in the lead. They will also play Euclid's Archaeology to move Bell over to Out in the Woods. To keep their very valuable card in play. The rest gets discarded. So yeah, I guess Werewolf Musketeers took a kind of a gamble there with marking territory, hoping that they could score the base on their next turn and move the Young Musketeer with Moon Touch off, but it didn't work. For now, we're not playing Lost City because we like both bases that were on the top of the deck. We just play Ice Palace and then 2 Crypt Looters, and they won't be destroyed by our opponent. Then we draw 2 cards and pass turn. So, Werewolf Musketeers are going to play Pack Alpha. And then All for 1 to prepare for a later turn. For now, we'll also play Chew Toy to destroy Mrs. Potts and Chip. And then draw 2 cards. Back to Explorers, Beauty and the Beast. They first draw a card with Bell. And then they are going to try to solo score base with Idaho Smith. He's going to play the top card of the base deck. And we already know what it is. It's Agrabah Bazaar. We will move Idaho Smith and all other minions there to the base. And we also get an extra action from Forbidden City. With our regular action play, we'll play X Never Marks the Spot. Move all of our minions to Agrabah Bazaar. We will use the base ability to discard an action. We'll discard Lost City for 2 power counters. And that's enough to score the base. And we still have that 1 action from Forbidden City. So we'll go ahead and play Dr. Livingstone, I presume, to also shuffle Pack Alpha back into the deck. Yeah, so basically Werewolves Musketeers are really falling behind at this point. Petals of the Rose triggers as well after we discarded an action. We'll place both of them at the top and draw 1 with Be Our Guest. So yeah, after that we solo score the base, gain 4 victory points, and discard everything. And the new base is Spiral Hill. We draw 2 and pass turn. Alright, so Musketeer Werewolves are just going to play Teenage Wolf and end their turn. They just play 1 minion a turn and then prepare a large action chain for when they want to score a base. Explorers, Beauty and the Beast play Forgotten Horrors, then play Lumiere, which triggers Forgotten Horrors, so we draw a card. After that, we use Lumiere's talent to discard a card and play an extra minion. So we'll discard and play Enchanted Objects. Forgotten Horror triggers again, we draw another card. Battles of the Rose triggers. We'll place both at the top. We draw 1 with Be Our Guest. The extra minion play with Lumiere. With the play we can play Cogsworth. And then we draw another card. And then with our extra action play from Forbidden City, we play Gaston to increase the breakpoint of this base. We draw 2 and pass turn. So now Werewolf Musketeers play Pack Alpha. Draw 2, discard 1, pass turn. Okay, so let's first destroy Gaston by discarding 2 cards. Let's discard Guide and Ever a Surprise, which we can then play to shuffle 2 characters or minions back into the deck. So let's shuffle back in Belle and Ido Smith. Battles of the Rose triggers. Yeah, just let's keep both of them. We can then draw a card with Be Our Guest. And then play Guide on Forbidden City. So we get another action. With our first action play, we'll play Fortune and Glory, move Enchanted Objects and Guide to Ice Palace, and those 2 minions get 1 power until the end of the turn from Guide. So Forgotten Horrors should have been triggered when I played Guide, and then it moves again after playing Fortune and Glory, so we draw 2 cards. And then with Lumiere, we discard Enchanted Objects and play Glory Hunt. Great White North and Arundel. Let's keep Arundel. And then Cogsworth can discard Ever a Surprise to shuffle back in the guide we discarded earlier, as well as a Crypt Looter. We also get an extra action. And of course we'll play I Said No Camels to draw 6 cards. We have drawn so many cards this game. Then 2 more. So as you can see, I already added up the victory points. And we get a new base. We'll play 2 Crypt Looters on Arundel. And then we trigger Arundel twice. So we draw even more cards. We'll draw Fortune and Glory, discard Glory Hunt. And here we will discard this action and draw enchanted objects. Then we draw 2 more to end our turn. Wow, it might be a new record for the amount of cards I drew. So let's play Lucaru on Arundel. We'll discard a Howler and draw on guard. Then play Chutoi to destroy one of the Crypt Looters. Then end our turn. We discard 1 card. Oh, and of course we can play our Titan during our turn. Okay, back at Explorers, Beauty and the Beast. We can play Bell again. We'll move Forgotten Horrors and draw a card. Discard enchanted objects. Battles of the Rose triggers. Yeah, I think with Forgotten Horrors in play, Bell, Battles of the Rose, Be Your Guest, the amount of draw is just crazy, yeah. Okay, we play Fortune and Glory to move all minions to this base. So hopefully we can score it soon. We can also play I Said No Camels for 3 power counters. It's not enough to score the base, but should score soon enough. And then we win. We draw 2, pass turn. Alright. So there's actually still one thing Musketeer Werewolves can do. They play Athos. And they can now, for the first time this game, pull off a proper Musketeer action chain. So we'll start with 1 for all to give +1 power to both minions and 1 extra power on Lucaru from Athos. Then Biding Time for 3 more power in combination with Athos. By the way, I already put 2 power on Lucaru from Great Wolf Spirit. We'll play 2 copies of a guard to draw 2 cards and give 4 more power to Lucaru. Again, 2 power is from Athos. And then, as you can see, we have a very powerful Lucaru who can, with Let the Dog Out, destroy all our opponent's minions. Which means we are going to solo score this base. We still have 1 action left from Forbidden City, so we'll play Full Moon. On Spiral Hill. And then score the base. So yeah, I'm glad Musketeer Werewolves could at least pull off one of those great turns this game. Okay, and finally that whole Beauty and the Beast engine is discarded. They can however play Lost City, so they can choose the next base. And we will pick Pride Rock, because that VP spread is very good for us when we are far ahead of our opponent. We will play a Glory Hunt on it. So let's take a look at the top two base cards. We'll place Squared Circle at the top and Grandma's House at the bottom. So maybe we can use Ido Smith for another solo score. Then we start our turn with Beast, discarding enchanted objects for a power counter. So yeah, we're just trying to put as much power there as possible. With our action play, we'll play Gaston. Draw 2 cards best turn. So now it's up to Werewolf Musketeers again. They will use Great Wolf Spirit to give 2 power to Teenage Wolf, and we can also use its talent twice, and then after we move him with Make Way, he is 7 power when we move him to Pride Rock. Then with our minion play, we play Aramis, and we destroy Gaston by discarding Frenzy and Unstoppable. Or actually, Last Stand and Unstoppable. Yeah, we score the base. There are no specials for Beauty and the Beast Explorers. I'm surprised they're still in the game. So they gained 3 victory points, but now their opponent is at 14. But yeah, the game still goes on. With Pride Rock, Musketeer Werewolves can place Athos back into their hand. And then the new base is Squared Circle. Which is actually a very good base for Musketeers to get those actions back. Okay, back to Explorers Beauty and the Beast. They can play Guide on Arundel, trigger Forgotten Horrors, draw a card. And then also trigger Arundel. So we'll draw Mrs. Spots and Chip and discard It Belongs into a Museum. And hopefully we can play Mrs. Spots and Chip with this provincial town later. But for now we play Discover the Library to draw 2 more cards and discard 1. We'll discard Enchanted Objects, trigger Arundel again, and draw a Glory Hunt, and then 2 more cards to end our turn. We need to discard 1, we discard Ever a Surprise, so we can shuffle back 2 minions, so we'll shuffle back the Beauty and the Beast. Very thematic. 4 cards left in the deck. We'll go back to Musketeer Werewolves. They will play Athos on Squared Circle, trying to get those Musketeer actions back into their hand. Token of Affection. It's an okay card. We'll draw 2 to end our turn. And now Beauty and the Beast Explorers can finally end this game. They will start with their action play to play this provincial town, to play Mrs. Spots and Chip, which means Arundel triggers. We will draw the special. We will then discard 1 card to place a power counter on Mrs. Spots and Chip. So we'll discard Discover the Library, which means we draw 2 more and discard 1. We'll discard Enchanted Objects. So we're still resolving the first action we played, actually. Now with our minion play, we play Ido Smith. Let's see what the top base is. It's Lake Minnetonka. Yeah, we'll move all our minions to there. We could score Arendelle, but Lake Minnetonka has more victory points. And after moving, we get 1 power for all our minions from the base and 1 from guide, so that's plus 10 power. We can also use Mrs. Spots and Chip to discard Break the Curse, to draw a card and give all of our minions another plus 1 power, so that's plus 5 total power, which is more than enough to score the base and get 5 victory points instead of 3. Which brings us to 19 victory points against 10. So Beauty and the Beast Explorers wins. And in the next episode, I'll be playing Adolescent Epic Geckos versus Magical Girls Elder Things. So yeah, I'm pretty surprised about this outcome. I think having Belle and other engine cards in our starting hand was very impactful. So they drew so many cards. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time. Goodbye.